Great Attitude by Earl Nightingale. Lesson 1. A great attitude does much more than turn on the lights in our world. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract good fortune wherever they go? These people aren't necessarily smarter or more talented than others. They don't possess magical powers or extraordinary abilities. What they do have is something far more valuable: a great attitude. A great attitude is like a light switch in a darkened room. When you flip that switch, not only does the darkness disappear, but suddenly you can see everything that was there all along. The furniture, the pathways, the possibilities, they were always present, just waiting to be illuminated. Let me share something I've observed over many decades of studying successful people. When you change your attitude, you change your life. It's that simple and that profound. Consider the story of young Johnny. As a boy in school, Johnny struggled with his subjects. His teachers labeled him slow and his classmates avoided him. Johnny began to believe he wasn't smart. This belief created a dark room where Johnny could see no path forward. Then one day, a new teacher told Johnny something different. "You're not slow," she said. "You just learn differently." That single statement was like flipping on a switch. Johnny's attitude about himself changed. He began to see possibilities rather than problems. Today, Johnny runs a successful business employing over 50 people. What happened? Did Johnny suddenly become more intelligent? No, the only thing that changed was his attitude, and with that change came a flood of opportunities that seemed to appear from nowhere. The truth is, these opportunities were always there. Johnny just couldn't see them in the darkness of his negative attitude. This isn't just a nice story. There's real science behind it. Researchers have discovered that our brains are constantly filtering information. A negative attitude tells your brain to look for problems and dangers. A positive attitude directs your brain to spot opportunities and solutions. When you choose a great attitude, you're essentially giving your brain new instructions. Show me the good stuff, and your wonderful brain obeys, bringing to your attention all the positive possibilities that were always there. I've seen this happen thousands of times. A person changes their attitude, and suddenly coincidences start happening. They bump into just the right person at just the right time. A book falls off a shelf. A book falls off a shelf, opening to exactly the page they needed to read. A chance conversation leads to a life-changing opportunity. Is this magic? Not at all. It's the natural result of seeing life through the lens of a positive attitude. Your attitude acts like a powerful magnet. It attracts similar energies, similar people, and similar circumstances. Change your attitude, and you change what you attract into your life. Starting today, make a simple decision to brighten your attitude. Begin by watching your thoughts. When negative thoughts appear, gently replace them with positive ones. Look for the good in every situation. Expect wonderful things to happen. As you do this, notice how the lights begin to come on in your world. Pay attention to the new opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere. They were always there, friend. Your great attitude has simply made them visible at last. Lesson 2. Our environment, the world in which we live and work, is a mirror of our attitudes and expectations. The world you experience each morning when you open your eyes is not randomly assigned to you. It is, in the most profound sense, a reflection of what lives within you. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to live in a world full of opportunity, kindness, and good fortune, while others appear trapped in a continuous cycle of problems? The difference is not luck or chance. It's attitude. Your mind is like a powerful projector casting images onto the screen of your life. What you expect, what you believe possible, what you focus upon, these create the contours of your personal world. Let me share a simple truth. When you expect good things, you tend to notice good things. When you look for trouble, trouble has a way of finding you. A man once told me how his neighborhood had gone downhill and become unfriendly. Yet his neighbor, living on the same street, described it as the most wonderful community where people were always helping each other. Same street, completely different experiences. The only true difference was how each man approached his surroundings. Consider your workplace. If you believe your job is boring and your coworkers unfriendly, you'll find plenty of evidence to support this view. But change your attitude. Approach each task as an opportunity to excel, each interaction as a chance to make a connection, and suddenly the same workplace transforms before your eyes. This mirror principle works in remarkable ways. People who expect hostility typically encounter hostile people. Those who anticipate helpfulness usually find helpful hands extended their way. Your expectations are like magnets, drawing similar situations toward you. You see, we don't just passively observe our environment. We actively create it through our attitudes. A cloudy day is just a cloudy day until you decide it's either a disappointing disruption or a cozy opportunity for indoor activities. The weather hasn't changed, but your experience of it changes completely. Take a moment right now to look around you. Your home, your workplace, your relationships all reflect something about your inner expectations. Are there areas that don't please you? Instead of blaming outside circumstances, ask yourself what attitude might be creating this reflection. The wonderful news is that you can change your environment by changing what you project. Start expecting excellence from yourself and others. Begin looking for beauty in ordinary moments. Anticipate solutions rather than dwelling on problems. As you shift your inner landscape, your outer world will gradually transform to match it. This isn't magical thinking. It's a practical principle that successful people have always understood. Just as a garden reflects the care of its gardener, your world reflects the quality of your thoughts and expectations. Tomorrow morning, try this simple experiment. Before your feet touch the floor, decide that your environment will reflect back opportunity, friendship, and solutions. Then watch closely as your mirror world begins to change. Remember, friends, your environment isn't happening to you. It's responding to you. Lesson 3. Our attitude towards others determines their attitude towards us. Have you ever noticed how a smile from you often brings a smile in return? Or how a kind word can transform a tense situation into a pleasant one? This is no accident, my friends. It is one of the greatest laws of human interaction. You see, our attitude toward others is like a boomerang. Whatever we send out into the world comes back to us with remarkable accuracy. I've observed this phenomenon thousands of times throughout my life, and the pattern never fails. When we approach others with respect, warmth, and genuine interest, they naturally respond in kind. Imagine walking into a room with a scowl on your face, arms crossed, radiating negativity. What happens? People instinctively pull away. They mirror your closed posture. They return your negativity. Now imagine entering that same room with a confident smile, open posture, and friendly demeanor. The difference is like night and day. The wonderful truth is that you possess tremendous power in every human interaction. By consciously choosing your attitude, you effectively choose how others will treat you. This isn't manipulation. It's simply human nature. We are social creatures who unconsciously attune to one another. A bank teller once told me about her experience with this principle. She said that on days when she felt frustrated and merely went through the motions with customers, they were equally cold and sometimes rude. But on days when she made a point to look each person in the eye, smile, and genuinely wish them well, customers became friendly and pleasant, often sharing small personal stories and leaving with a smile. This ripple effect extends to all relationships. Consider a marriage where criticism has become the norm. If one partner decides to break the cycle by expressing appreciation instead of complaints, the entire dynamic can shift. I've seen hostile work environments transform when just one person decided to bring positivity consistently. The beauty of this principle is that it puts you in the driver's seat. Rather than waiting for others to be kind or respectful first, you can initiate the cycle of positive interaction. When faced with a difficult person, remember that their attitude likely reflects how they've been treated. You have the power to interrupt that pattern. Children are especially responsive to this principle. They mirror the attitudes of adults around them with remarkable accuracy. A teacher who approaches students with excitement about learning will find that enthusiasm reflected back, while one who shows disdain will face resistance and apathy. Remember, this isn't about pretending or being insincere. People have remarkable radar for detecting falsehood. This is about genuinely shifting your perspective and choosing to see the best in others. When you make this shift, you'll be amazed how quickly others respond. Today, I challenge you to experiment with this principle. Choose one relationship that could use improvement. Approach that person with genuine warmth, interest, and respect, regardless of how they've treated you in the past. Watch carefully what happens, not just in their immediate response, but over time, as the new pattern establishes itself. Our attitude toward others truly determines their attitude toward us. This simple truth, properly applied, can transform your interactions, your relationships, and, ultimately, your life. Lesson 4. Always keep that happy attitude. What if I told you that one of the most powerful secrets to transforming your life lies in something as simple as pretending? Yes, pretending to hold a beautiful, fragrant bouquet in your hands. Imagine for a moment that you're holding the most exquisite arrangement of flowers you've ever seen. They're vibrant, fresh, and giving off the most delightful scent. Notice how your posture naturally improves. Your chest expands. Your face softens into a gentle smile. There's a lightness to your step. This is no accident. The remarkable thing about our minds is that they cannot easily distinguish between what we vividly imagine and what is actually happening. When you pretend to hold that beautiful bouquet, your body responds as if you really are holding something precious and delightful. Your shoulders roll back. Your breathing deepens. Your facial muscles relax into a natural smile. Let me share something extraordinary with you. William James, the great American psychologist, discovered that we don't smile because we're happy. We become happy because we smile. The physical act creates the emotional reality. When you act as if you're holding something wonderful, you begin to feel wonderful. This isn't merely positive thinking. It's positive action that changes your biochemistry. Your brain releases endorphins and dopamine, nature's own happiness chemicals, simply because you've adjusted your posture and expression to match someone who is genuinely happy. During my years of observing successful people, I've noticed they all share this common trait. They carry themselves as if they already possess the happiness they seek. They don't wait for circumstances to make them happy. They create happiness through this simple act of pretending until it becomes their natural state. Try this experiment tomorrow morning. Before leaving your home, stand tall and imagine holding that beautiful bouquet. Feel its weight in your hands. Smell its fragrance. Appreciate its beauty. Then carry that imaginary bouquet with you throughout your day. Notice how differently people respond to you. Observe how challenges seem less daunting. Pay attention to the opportunities that suddenly appear. Even in your darkest moments, this technique remains powerful. Perhaps especially then, when sadness or disappointment threatens to overwhelm you, the simple act of straightening your posture, lifting your chin, and pretending to hold something beautiful can begin to shift your emotional state. Make this a daily practice. Each morning, gather your imaginary flowers. Throughout the day, whenever you feel your spirits dropping, remember to adjust your bouquet. Straighten it a bit. Smell it again. Admire its colors. What you'll discover is that pretending to be happy is the shortest path to becoming genuinely happy. The imaginary bouquet becomes a real transformation in how you experience your world. Your problems don't disappear, but your capacity to handle them with grace and confidence expands remarkably. Remember, happiness is not something that happens to you. It's something you choose, moment by moment, by the simple act of carrying yourself as if you're already holding everything beautiful that life has to offer. Lesson 5. The Seeds of Greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, what a marvelous opportunity we have today to explore together the magnificent garden of your mind. Perhaps you've never thought of your thoughts as seeds before, but that's precisely what they are. Each and every thought you plant in the fertile soil of your consciousness will, in time, produce a harvest in exact proportion to its nature. Consider for a moment the miracle of an ordinary seed, so tiny you might lose it between your fingers. yet within its humble shell lies the blueprint for a mighty oak, a delicate flower, or life, sustaining grain. Your thoughts operate by this same universal law. The thought, seeds you plant today, whether of confidence or doubt, kindness or criticism, ambition or apathy, will inevitably sprout and grow into the circumstances of your tomorrow. The wonderful news is that you are the master gardener of your mind. You choose which seeds to plant. When you wake up each morning, you have fresh soil awaiting your cultivation. Will you scatter seeds of worry about things that may never happen? Or will you carefully plant expectations of good fortune, helpful people, and successful outcome? Just as no farmer would randomly toss seeds about hoping for the best, you mustn't allow random thoughts to take root in your mental garden. Be deliberate. Select only the finest quality thought. Select only the finest quality thought. Thoughts of capability rather than limitation. Thoughts of solutions rather than problems. Thoughts of what can be done rather than what cannot. Of course, every garden faces weeds, and yours is no exception. Negative thinking patterns will attempt to sprout up between your positive plantings. The successful attitude gardener develops a keen eye for these unwanted growths and pulls them promptly. When doubt, fear, or criticism begin to emerge, recognize them for what they are, uninvited guests that will choke out your harvest if permitted to remain. Daily tending of your mental garden is essential. Water your positive thought, seeds with attention, fertilize them with affirmations of their truth. Provide the sunshine of your belief that they will indeed grow to full maturity. This daily nurturing need not be complicated or time-consuming. Even 5 minutes of quiet reflection each morning can set the pattern for your entire day. Every great achievement in human history began as a single thought, seed in someone's mind. The magnificent buildings that grace our skylines, the life-saving medicines that heal our bodies, the inspiring music that lifts our spirits, all began as simple seeds of possibility planted in fertile minds. Your own greatness lies dormant within the seeds of your thinking. The talents, abilities, and potential you possess are waiting for the proper cultivation. Even during storms of circumstance or droughts of opportunity, continue tending your garden. The most resilient plants often develop during challenging seasons. Plant well today, my friends. Be patient with the growing process, but persistent in your care. In due time, you'll walk through a magnificent garden of your own creation, the beautiful manifestation of the seeds of greatness you've faithfully tended in the garden of your mind. Lesson 6. Your mind is your greatest asset. My friends, I want to talk to you today about the most valuable possession you own. It's not your home, your car, or your savings account. It's your mind, that remarkable instrument that sets you apart from every other creature on this planet. Your mind is like a magnificent garden, capable of producing the most beautiful flowers or the most troublesome weeds. The choice is entirely yours. When you understand that your thoughts create your reality, you begin to guard this precious resource with greater care. I've often said that we become what we think about. This isn't just a pleasant saying. It's the fundamental law that governs human achievement. The person who thinks about courage and confidence becomes courageous and confident. The person who dwells on failure and misfortune finds exactly that. Your mind is constantly working, processing approximately 60,000 thoughts each day. The question is, what direction are those thoughts taking you? Let me share something important with you. Your mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. Feed it images of success, and it accepts them as instructions to follow. Feed it worries and doubts, and it will faithfully produce those results instead. This is why protecting your mind from negative influences is not just helpful, it's essential. The wealthiest people I know aren't always those with the most money. They're the ones who've learned to invest in their mental capacity. They read good books, seek out positive conversations, and carefully choose what media they consume. They understand that mental fitness requires the same dedication as physical fitness. Here's a simple exercise you can try today. For the next 24 hours, catch yourself whenever a negative thought appears. Don't fight it or feel bad about it. Simply replace it with a better alternative. If you think, "I can't handle this problem," immediately substitute, "I'm finding good solutions step by step." This mental habit, practiced consistently, builds tremendous strength. Your attitude compounds like interest in a bank account. A small improvement applied daily creates enormous returns over time. The person who improves their thinking by just 1% each day becomes more than 30 times better over a year's. I've observed that the most successful people treat their minds as their most prized possessions. They're careful about what they expose themselves to. They seek out ideas that uplift and inspire. They surround themselves with others who challenge them to grow. And most importantly, they use their minds to serve others, which creates the greatest fulfillment. Your mind is not just a tool for solving problems. It's the source of your happiness, achievement, and contribution to this world. When you harness its power through positive attitude and directed thinking, there is virtually nothing beyond your reach. Today, make a commitment to treat your mind as the incredible asset it truly is. Guard it, nurture it, challenge it, and watch as it transforms every aspect of your life. For when you change your thinking, you change your thinking, you change your life. And that is the greatest miracle of all. Lesson 7. Success begins with belief. My friends, I want to talk to you today about something that has changed countless lives throughout human history. It's the powerful force that has launched businesses, built bridges, cured diseases, and transformed ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. That force is belief. Belief is the starting line of every race worth running. Without it, we remain frozen at the blocks while others sprint toward their dreams. You see, success doesn't begin with talent, though talent helps. It doesn't begin with opportunity, though opportunity is necessary. Success begins with the unshakable conviction that you can achieve what you set out to do. Picture two children learning to ride bicycles. The first child thinks, "I'll probably fall and hurt myself." The second thinks, "I'm going to ride like the wind." Which child do you think masters the skill faster? The one who believes they can. This simple truth applies to everything in life. The salesperson who believes in their product sells more. The student who believes they can master difficult material does just that. The entrepreneur who believes their idea will succeed persists until it does. When Thomas Edison was working on the light bulb, he didn't succeed on his first try, or his 100th, or even his 1,000th. He reportedly found over 10,000 ways that didn't work before finding success. What kept him going? His belief that a solution existed and that he would find it. Your belief shapes your actions. When you truly believe something is possible, you take different steps than when you're doubtful. You work harder. You work harder. You stay later. You get up earlier. You try more approaches. You refuse to accept permanent defeat. But how do we build this kind of belief? It starts with your thoughts. Monitor what you say to yourself. Replace "I can't" with "how can't" with "how can I." Replace "that's impossible" with "that's challenging, but there must be a way." Create what I call a personal belief statement. Write down what you believe you can accomplish in clear, positive language. I believe I can build a successful business that serves others. I believe I can become financially independent. I believe I can become financially independent. I believe I can become healthy and strong. Make it specific to your dreams. Then read it aloud each morning and evening. Your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. Feed it words of possibility, not limitation. Surround yourself with believers, not doubters. Find friends, books, and messages that strengthen your faith in yourself and your goals. Distance yourself from those who tell you what you cannot do. Take small steps that build your confidence. Each small victory reinforces your belief that bigger victories are possible. Success builds upon success. Remember, friends, no great achievement has ever been accomplished without belief preceding it. It is the foundation upon which all achievement stands. Without it, the house of your dreams cannot be built. The greatest gift you can give yourself today is the gift of belief. Believe in your dreams. Believe in your abilities. Believe in your abilities. Believe in the possibilities that await you. For as surely as day follows night, success follows belief. Lesson 8. The Miracle of Gratitude. A wise man once said that gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. This is one of the most powerful truths you'll ever encounter. Gratitude is the miracle attitude that transforms everything it touches. Think of your mind as a garden. What you plant there grows and spreads its roots. When you plant seeds of thankfulness, something magical begins to happen. The very soil of your thinking becomes rich and fertile for all manner of good things to grow. I've observed thousands of lives over my years, and I can tell you with certainty that grateful people are happy people. It's not that they have more than others. Often they have less, but they've discovered the secret. Happiness doesn't depend on having more, but on appreciating what you already have. Let me share something remarkable with you. Your brain cannot focus on the negative when it's busy being grateful. Try it yourself. Right now, think of 3 things you're genuinely thankful for. Feel that shift. That's the miracle of gratitude in action. The most successful people I've known make gratitude a daily practice. They understand that thankfulness isn't just a nice sentiment. It's a powerful force that literally reshapes how we see the world. When you're grateful, problems appear smaller and opportunities look bigger. Here's a simple truth. Life gives more to the thankful, not because they're special or privileged, but because they notice and appreciate what others overlook. While the ungrateful person sees only what's missing, the grateful person sees only what's missing, the grateful person sees abundance everywhere. You may ask, but how can I be grateful when things are going wrong? That's when gratitude becomes most powerful. Finding something to appreciate during difficult times doesn't deny the difficulty. It gives you the strength to overcome it. Consider this. Every morning you wake up is a gift many didn't receive today. Every meal, every friendship, every beautiful sight and pleasant sound. These aren't entitlements. They're blessings. When we take these for granted, we rob ourselves of joy that should be ours. Start a simple practice today. Before bed each night, identify 3 specific things you're grateful for. Not the same things every night. Search for new blessings. This trains your mind to become a blessing detector that automatically finds good throughout your day. Gratitude also heals relationships. When you genuinely appreciate others and express it, walls come down. People bloom in the sunshine of appreciation just as surely as flowers turn toward the sun. The miracle of gratitude isn't complicated, but it is profound. It turns what we have into enough. It turns problems into opportunities. It turns ordinary days into thanksgivings, ordinary jobs into thanksgivings, ordinary jobs into joy, and ordinary life into an extraordinary adventure. Gratitude isn't just a feeling. It's a choice. You can decide right now to be more thankful, more appreciative, more aware of the good around you. That decision made daily will change your life more dramatically than almost anything else you could do. The attitude of gratitude truly is a miracle worker. It costs nothing but gives everything. It requires no special talent but enhances every ability you possess. It takes just moments but benefits all your days. This miracle is available to you right now. Will you claim it? Lesson 9. Attitude in Action. This is where the rubber meets the road, my friends. You've learned about the magnificent power of attitude, but now comes the most important part of all, putting that attitude into action. You see, a great attitude, kept only in your mind, is like a beautiful sports car that never leaves the garage. It has tremendous potential, but until you turn the key and put your foot on the accelerator, it's just a showpiece. The most successful people in the world understand that attitude is energy. It's the fuel that powers your journey. When you combine positive thinking with purposeful action, you create an unstoppable force in your life. Think of it this way. Your attitude is the engine, and your actions are the wheels that move you forward. I've observed something remarkable in my years of studying human achievement. Those who succeed aren't necessarily the most talented or the most privileged. They're the ones who maintain a positive attitude while taking consistent action. Even small steps, when taken with the right mindset, create momentum that can carry you to extraordinary places. When you act with a positive attitude, You transform ordinary tasks into opportunities for excellence. The student who approaches homework with enthusiasm learns more than the one who grudgingly completes assignments. The employee who tackles challenges with optimism finds solutions that the pessimist would never discover. Your attitude energizes every effort you make. Here's a simple truth. Action without attitude leads to burnout, while attitude without action leads to daydreaming. You need both working together when you face obstacles, and you certainly will. Your positive attitude becomes the resilience that helps you bounce back quickly. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, you'll view them as valuable feedback, adjusting your approach while maintaining your forward momentum. This beautiful cycle works like this. Your positive attitude inspires action. Your action creates results. Those results reinforce your attitude, and that strengthened attitude fuels even more effective action. This is how ordinary people accomplish extraordinary things. Carpenter who whistles while he works. His attitude doesn't just make his job more pleasant, it makes him more creative, more precise, and more productive. The same principle applies to everything you do, from washing dishes to running a company. Don't wait until you feel like taking action. That's backward thinking. Action often precedes motivation, not the other way around. Start moving with whatever positive attitude you can muster, and you'll find that your enthusiasm grows with each step you take. The world is full of people with wonderful ideas and good intentions who never translate them into action. The difference between dreamers and achievers isn't intelligence or luck. It's the willingness to act boldly with a positive mindset. Today, look for one area where you can put your attitude into action. It might be making that phone call you've been avoiding, starting that project you've been postponing, or simply bringing more energy to your daily tasks. Your attitude determines your altitude, but only when it's matched with action. Now is the time to spread your wings and soar. Lesson 10. The courage to persist. This world belongs to the persistent. I've watched thousands of men and women over my lifetime, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that the quality that separates those who achieve greatness from those who merely dream is persistence. It's the heart of a great attitude. Imagine for a moment that you're climbing a mountain. You've prepared well, studied the path, and begun your journey with enthusiasm. Then comes the first unexpected challenge. Perhaps a steep section you hadn't anticipated or a sudden change in weather. What happens next determines everything. The person with a great attitude sees challenges as nothing more than temporary obstacles. They understand that persistence isn't just continuing to try. It's continuing to try with the same enthusiasm and belief you had at the beginning. When you face resistance, and you certainly will, your attitude becomes your greatest ally. I once knew a young woman who dreamed of becoming a writer. Her first submissions were rejected, as were her 10th, 20th, and 50th. But unlike so many others who received those same rejection letters, she didn't see them as evidence of her inadequacy. She saw each rejection as one step closer to acceptance. She maintained her positive attitude, studied her craft, and improved with each attempt. 5 years later, her books were being published around the world. Your persistence is directly connected to your attitude in ways you might not realize. When your attitude is negative, obstacles appear insurmountable. The smallest setback becomes proof that you should quit. But when your attitude remains bright and expectant, those same obstacles become interesting challenges to overcome. Think about water for a moment. It's soft and yielding, yet it can wear away solid rock given enough time. Water doesn't try to break through the mountain all at once. It simply persists, day after day, year after year, maintaining its nature and continuing its journey. This is the kind of persistence that changes the world. To maintain the courage to persist, surround yourself with reminders of your purpose. Write down why your goal matters to you. Read stories of those who persisted against greater odds than you face. Virtually nothing worthwhile is achieved without persistence through multiple failures. When Thomas Edison was asked about his thousands of failed attempts to create the light bulb, he famously responded that he hadn't failed. He had successfully discovered thousands of ways that wouldn't work. That's the attitude of persistence. He didn't just continue trying. He continued trying with enthusiasm and curiosity. Your ability to persist isn't fixed. It grows stronger each time you choose to continue despite difficulty, like a muscle that develops through resistance training. Your persistence grows more powerful each time you push through when giving up would be easier. The great secret that persistent people understand is this. Most people quit just before their breakthrough would have happened. They get tired, discouraged, or simply lose interest. By simply continuing when others would stop, you automatically separate yourself from the crowd. Remember, persistence is not stubbornness. It sometimes means adapting your approach while maintaining your goal. The river doesn't stop when it meets a boulder. It simply finds a way around. Keep your destination clear in your mind. Maintain your great attitude and persist. Your greatest achievements are waiting on the other side of persistence. Lesson 11. Attitude, the great difference maker. This is Earl Nightingale speaking to you about one of life's most remarkable truths. Your attitude is the great difference maker in your journey. Think about it, my friend. Two people can face the exact same situation. One sees tragedy, while the other discovers opportunity. What's the difference? It isn't education, talent, or luck. It's attitude. That's the magnificent separator between those who succeed and those who struggle. I've observed thousands of people throughout my years, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that attitude determines altitude in life. Look around at the most successful people you know. They share one common trait, a positive, expectant, and determined attitude that refuses to be defeated by temporary setbacks. Your attitude is like a pair of glasses through which you see the world. If those glasses are smudged with negativity, everything appears cloudy and distorted. But when you clean those lenses with positive expectation, suddenly the world becomes crisp, clear, and filled with possibilities. Here's something remarkable. Your attitude is completely within your control. You can choose it each morning when you wake up. While you cannot control the weather, traffic, or what others say to you, you maintain absolute sovereignty over how you respond to these circumstances. The great philosopher William James once said, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind." That was true in his time, and it remains profoundly true today. Consider how attitude works in your daily life. When you approach a task with enthusiasm, doesn't it seem lighter? When you face a challenge with confidence rather than fear, don't you find more creative solutions? When you treat others with genuine warmth, don't they typically respond in kind? I've discovered that attitude has a magnetic quality, like attracts like. Your positive attitude pulls positive circumstances and people toward you. Similarly, a negative attitude attracts more negativity. The choice is yours, and the consequences flow naturally from that choice. Let me share a simple truth. Life is difficult for everyone at times. No one escapes challenges. The difference lies not in what happens to us, but in how we respond. The person with a great attitude says, "This is difficult, but I'll find a way through it." The person with a poor attitude says, "This is difficult, so why bother trying?" Your attitude isn't just about feeling good, though that's certainly a wonderful benefit. A great attitude is practical. It conserves energy that would otherwise be wasted on worry. It opens your eyes to solutions. It makes you the kind of person others want to help, work with, and support. Think of attitude as the foundation upon which the house of your life is built. Everything else, your relationships, your work, your health, your achievements, rests upon this foundation. Strengthen it daily. How? Start with awareness. Notice your thoughts. When negative patterns emerge, consciously replace them with positive alternatives. Surround yourself with positive influences. Read uplifting books. Listen to encouraging voices. Associate with forward-thinking people. Remember, a great attitude isn't about ignoring reality. It's about approaching reality with the right perspective. It's seeing the truth, but focusing on the part of the truth that empowers rather than limits you. Your attitude truly is the great difference maker. Choose it wisely, nurture it daily, and watch as it transforms everything in your world. Lesson 12. The Power of Choice. Every morning when you wake up, you are given a precious gift, the gift of choice. This marvelous power of choice is yours and yours alone. No matter what your circumstances may be, no matter what your circumstances may be, no matter what happened yesterday, you have the magnificent ability today. I've always believed that our lives are not determined by what happens to us, but by how we respond to what happens. This response, this choice of attitude, is the greatest power you possess. Think about it, my friend. Two people can face identical situations. One crumbles while the other flourishes. The difference, their chosen attitude. It's as simple and as profound as that. Your attitude is like a mental filter through which you see the world. Choose a negative filter, and everything appears threatening, difficult, and hopeless. Choose a positive filter, and suddenly opportunities emerge. People seem friendlier, and solutions become visible, where before there were only problems. When you truly understand that your attitude is a choice, something remarkable happens. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstance and start feeling like the captain of your own ship. The seas may be rough at times, but you decide how to navigate them. I remember speaking with a young woman who had lost her job during difficult economic times. Instead of allowing despair to overtake her, she made a conscious choice to see this as an opportunity for growth. "Mr. Nightingale," she said to me, "I decided that if I couldn't control being let go, I could certainly control how I responded to it." Within 3 months, she had started a small business that eventually grew more successful than her previous position ever promised. That's the power of choice in action. Children understand this instinctively. Have you ever watched a child at play? They can transform a cardboard box into a spaceship or a castle through the power of their imagination. As adults, we have the same ability to transform our circumstances through the power of our chosen attitude. Your attitude choice creates a ripple effect through every aspect of your life. Choose gratitude, and you'll find more to be grateful for. Choose to see the good in others, and more good will be revealed. Choose to approach problems as challenges that build your character, and you'll grow stronger with each one you face. Remember, a great attitude isn't something you're born with or something that only comes when everything is going your way. It's a deliberate choice you make moment by moment, day by day. Make no mistake, choosing a positive attitude doesn't mean ignoring life's difficulties or plastering on a fake smile when you're hurting inside. Rather, it means acknowledging challenges while choosing to focus on solutions, possibilities, and the better days that lie ahead. As we conclude our journey together through these chapters, my sincere hope is that you recognize the magnificent power you already possess, the power to choose your attitude in any given moment. This choice, more than any other factor, will determine the quality of your life. Choose wisely, my friend. Choose a great attitude.